Just going to check.
We'll eventually head back. I'm going to be your lead guide as well as your instructor this afternoon, or morning. Very important question before we start. Who's excited to go dog sledding?
Yay!
A little bit better. I'll give you guys one more shot to show a little bit more enthusiasm before we get heading out. I'm going to quickly talk to you guys about how we run here at Snowy Owl. We're a little bit different than the other outfits in the area. Following that, we're going to talk quickly about the equipment we're using as well as the commands we use for our dog teams. And last but not least, I'm going to teach you guys how to drive these things. Okay, and I'm going to teach you two ways how to drive. How to drive solo and how to drive in tandem. Now, tandem driving can happen at any point on this tour if you're with a handsome guide like myself. If you're not with a guide and you're driving on a guest-driven sled, you may only tandem drive on the second half of this tour. Okay, that's because the first half of the tour is a little bit more technical than the second half, so we prefer to have one very confident driver on the first half as opposed to two semi-confident drivers. Sound good? Sweet. Here at Snowy Owl, we're on a guide guest configuration. What that means is there's a guided sled at the very front, so that's me, and the two sleds behind me are guest-driven sleds, and then a guided sled and two guest-driven sleds. Now, some of you guys are hearing the words guided and guest-driven sled for the very first time, and you're learning very quickly that you guys are about to drive your very own dog team. Okay, I'm guessing you guys are the people that just signed that waiver and didn't bother reading any of it. It's totally okay. I've been dog sledding for about a week now, basically a professional. Got all the tips and tricks you're going to need to know to make it all the way through our trail, not to the summit of that mountain, right over there. Sweet. Let's get going on some of the equipment, guys. To start off, we're going to talk with this crude medieval looking device right here. It's called our snow leopard. No, this is not an anchor, okay? So don't go pitching into the trees hoping that it catches something and stops your team for you, okay? If it's not in use, it's going to dangle right there, okay? Ignore it. It does not exist, okay? Okay, if it is in use, your guide and your guide alone will walk back, take it off your sled, give it a quick tug, and kick it into the snow. Now that is used to help hold your team in tandem with you standing on this brake. This is not a parking brake, okay guys? This will not hold your team indefinitely. The dogs are more than capable of pulling it out of the snow, even with somebody on the back of the sled. So I would highly recommend not standing here. Okay? That's because, guys, this is your parking brake, or at least as close to a parking brake as we have. If it's tied off to a post or to a tree on the trail, that is the only time that you guys can get completely off your sled, as I am right now. If it's not tied off to anything, you come to a complete stop on this tour at any time, you must stand 2 feet on that brake, okay? You guys are responsible for holding your team. Now, if you step off this brake with 1 foot or 2 feet, the dogs will take off, okay? They're not gonna wait for your commands to get the team moving, all right? So, make sure that when you come to a complete stop, if you wish to stay stopped, stay on your brake. Sound good? That brings me to my first important rule, guys. Always use 2 feet to stop, okay? But even your guys are going to jump quickly on their brake with 2 feet when we're stopping our team. They're going to remain on that brake with 2 feet, okay? And I'll teach you how we stop our team in just a moment. Last very, very important rule, guys, our most important rule of dog sledding has to do with our handlebar. And that rule is don't let go. Okay? This is not a tough rule, but it blows us away how bad at this you are. Because I guarantee that at least one of you on this tour is going to make our classic tourist mistake. Okay? Guys, no distracted driving on the back of these things. Same as driving a car. Okay? If you want to take photos, it's totally cool. You have time to do that inside the sled. But if you are driving, you are not to be taking photos whatsoever, okay? I guarantee you that if you let go of this sled at any point in time, the dogs will take off with or without you, okay? Preferably without you, because would you rather pull 300 pounds or 100 pounds? Okay? 100 pounds. You gotta think about it from the dog's perspective. Now you'll see a pretty interesting perspective, or you have a pretty interesting perspective. You'll be laying on the ground, getting up, trying to chase after your dog team, of which you're never gonna catch, as they just belt off into the distance without you. Okay? I myself, as the guide, however, I get to see the terrified look of your passenger's face because they've realized that their loved one or their friend is no longer driving them. They're not super happy about that. Okay? I also get to see the big smiles on the dog faces because they're pretty stoked about what they just did to you, okay? So, as funny as this can be, this is the only point in time where your tour can become very, very dangerous. Not only for your guests inside the sled, but more importantly, for our dogs. Because if there's nobody driving the sled, there's nobody to stand on the back of this brake and stop the team. And if the dogs stop for any reason, and they will, without somebody on the back of the sled is going to run right into them. It's not sweet, okay? So please, out of respect for the dogs, respect our #1 rule, and please, don't let go. Sound good?
Yeah.
Awesome. We're going to move right on into the commands, guys. To start, we're going to start off with our command to go. Can anyone guess what that command is?
Hike.
I'm hearing go. 2 people said mush. I heard 1 hike. Hike is correct. Okay, guys? Mush is not the command to go. Mushing is the name of our sport. I'm a musher. You're a guy. You guys are starting now mushers in training, but that's about as far as that word goes. Okay? The word we use your team to go is hike or hike up. Sounds a little something like this. Hey, look at my 2 lead dogs. On the right, I have Renegade. On the left, I believe I have Allura. There you go, Renegade, Allura. Hi! Works pretty sweet, doesn't it? Did anyone guess why that didn't work? Close. Actually, not close at all. Sorry. They know they're tied to a post. Okay? They've heard this intro more times than they've given it, and they will hear it long after I'm gone. They know it's not time to get your team moving. However, when it's go time, it's go time. They're going to be pretty stoked to get moving, okay? Now, if you notice, when I said hike, I sounded excited. I was happy to be here. Some of you guys are going to have a pretty tough time. Okay? Let loose. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Laugh at my bad jokes, okay? So, hike. Super enthusiastic. Excited command, okay? Hike means go. It does not mean go faster, so there is no reason for you to stand on the back of the sled yelling, hike! 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 It happens.
Yeah.
More often than you think, okay? If you do this, you're going to notice your dog team's drifting further and further behind my own. It's because your dogs hate you, okay? So instead of irritating your dogs, but most importantly, guys, irritating your guide, just encourage the dog. So you can follow that hike command with, good dogs, good puppies. Woo! See, Anna's pretty happy. Hey, Anna. You can yell whatever you want on the back of the sled. It does not matter, as long as it sounds like you guys are having fun. I get it. We're not all here because we want to be. Some of us were dragged here by our loved ones, okay? It's okay. Just fake it, all right? Be enthusiastic, because the dogs are going to feed off your energy. If you're not pumped to be here, neither are the dogs. They're just not going to run for you, okay? Okay. So, we've learned how to get our team moving. We've learned how to encourage our dogs. We're going to have to stop on this trail a few times. Okay, can anyone guess at why you might have to stop during the tour?
Something ran out.
Something ran out? Not quite.
Tangle?
Tangles, yes. So if the dogs get tangled up, doesn't happen often. It's usually because the guest or guide isn't using their brake. But we'll talk about the significance and how to do that in just a moment. Most important reason, guys, that we're going to have to stop, poo breaks. Stop. Okay? We don't stop for pee breaks, however. If we stop for pee breaks, this would be a 2-week tour, not a 2-hour tour. We got a ton of unneutered males on these teams. They would mark absolutely everything if you allowed them to. However, we do stop for poo breaks because, hands up, who's tried pooping and running before? Okay? Neither have I, but I can't imagine it's too sweet. Okay? Everyone knows what a pooping dog looks like?
Yes.
Yeah? Does anyone want to volunteer to show, demonstrate? No? Cool. When you see a pooping dog, it is very important that you stop quickly, okay? With 2 feet on that brake and the stop command. That command is, whoa. Okay? It's going to look something like this. I'm going to see Jasper. Jasper! No? Having a nap? Okay. Jasper's this big white, black, fluffy guy on the right here. And if I see him, he's going to have his tail going up, round rays, the sunshine coming out. You think the dogs in front of him are stopping? No. So I'm watching the team the entire time. When I see that happen, I'm jumping on that brake. Yelling, whoa! Now notice the change in tone of voice there. Okay, guys, I've gone from really happy and excited to a little bit more stern. Okay, I really want the dogs to listen and pay attention to these commands, okay? Tone of voice is absolutely everything. When you go to stop your team, and you're the type to panic easily, now is not the time, okay? Some of you guys are going to start to stop your team, you're going to go, whoa, 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 whoa! If you do, you're going to notice your dog team start to pull even harder just to watch you come unglued on the back of this thing, okay? Tone of voice is absolutely everything, okay? You're more than welcome to shout that whoa command until you come to a complete stop, but make sure you do it in the same tone of voice the whole way through. Sound good?
Yeah.
Another reason we're going to have to stop is if the sled in front of us stops, okay? We have a no passing policy here at Snowy Owl. Tons of reasons why, okay? Most importantly, you have no idea where you're going, okay? And if you pass me at the front of the teams, you're just going to end up on our overnight trail, I'm assuming, and maybe we'll see you tomorrow, okay? There's nothing out there right now. So I would recommend not passing the teams in front of you. If you notice that the team in front of you is slowing down, okay, you can slow down as well. Or if the team in front of you is stopped, you're going to stop right behind them, exactly as you are right now, okay? They're probably stopped because the guide in front of them is stopped, and the guide is going to give you guys, instructions as to what's coming up. It could be uphills or downhills, anything like that, okay? So stop right behind the sled in front of you when you guys come to a complete stop.
But how you slow down?
What?
How you slow down because it's so hard?
I'll teach you guys that in just a moment, but a very good question. Hey! Simmer down. There you go. Sweet. So, we've learned how to stop, we've learned how to go. The last two commands is how to slow down and how to avoid distractions. The command to slow down is easy, and it's said in the very same tone of voice as whoa, and that easy command is accompanied with just one click on that brake to slow your team down. Okay?
And if you fall,
What's that?
you may fall.
You're not going to fall. I trust you guys. You guys are going to be sweet, okay? Because you're always going to be holding onto your sled, right? You know, you're only going to have one foot on that brake. You guys will be fine. Don't worry. Okay? Last command is how we avoid distractions, okay? Can anyone guess at what a distraction might be for our dogs?
Animals?
Animals, yeah. Squirrels are the biggest one, okay? They're sled dogs. They love to run, but they especially love to run after squirrels, okay? Your dog team will notice a squirrel way before you guys have, or any form of wildlife, okay? Their ears are going to perk up, and they're going to start running really fast for no apparent reason, okay? This is a really good indicator there's some wildlife on the trail, so that's why it's very important that you yell the command to avoid that distraction. What that command is on by, okay? That command is a very stern command. It's going to sound like this. On by, dogs, on by. All that means is avoid that distraction, keep on running, okay? And you're going to continue to yell that command until you're all the way past whatever that distraction might be. It could be squirrels on the trail. It could be a turn that we don't want the dogs to take. It could be a tree that our friend Renegade here is trying to pee on, okay? It could be absolutely anything. So you're going to get to know that command pretty darn well. Sweet. Any questions on the commands, guys? We'll do a very quick recap at the very end. So very good question. Okay? Sweet. Next up, guys, I'm going to teach you guys how to drive. Now, believe it or not, our trail through the Rocky Mountains isn't straight and flat the whole way through. We have right turns, left turns, uphills, downhills. Okay, there's a lot coming at you guys. We'll be stopping on a frozen lake for halfway for the 2-hour tour. 4-hour tour with me. We'll be stopping for a lunch break somewhere down yonder. Okay, we'll figure it out. But anyways, so there's a lot coming at you guys. The very first obstacle you guys are going to encounter is a pretty heavy-duty uphill. It's called Poop Hill. You'll see why. Okay? When we get to this uphill, you're going to notice that Jasper's taking a quick peek back at you guys. Now, you're going to be wondering what you're about to do. And if you guys remember earlier, I mentioned that mushing is a sport. That makes each and every one of you athletes today, whether you like it or not. Okay? It's a team sport. We're included in that team. So if our dogs are running up the hills, guess what we're doing? Yeah, there we go. You guys are pretty excited about that one, right? Sweet. So, as soon as you get to the very bottom of the hill, you're going to notice your guide has jumped off his or her sled and started running up the hill. And that's your indicator that you guys should follow suit. Jump off your sled, run up that hill with the dogs, okay? You're going to still hold on to your sled as you're running, okay? Now, the dogs are going to slow down to a jogging pace on these uphills, okay? It's tough to pull uphill, okay? That's why we jump off and we help them out. Now, I get it. We're not all super athletes like our friend Ian over here. Ian, take a bow. So, if you're having a hard time running up those hills, do not hesitate to jump back on your sled and help the dogs out by pedaling, okay? It looks exactly as if you're pushing a skateboard. Now, the dogs can feel everything you do through their harnesses, so don't think you're fooling any of them by kicking up the snow behind you, okay? They are not going to appreciate the gesture. So, the more work you guys put in for our dog teams, the more work they're going to put in for you guys, okay? If you're running up every single one of those hills, I guarantee you, your dogs are going to love you for it, and they're going to run even harder for you guys. But, again, don't go passing out on us. If you're having a hard time running up the hills, because we are at altitude right now, don't hesitate to jump back on this sled and pedal until you caught your breath, and then feel free to jump back off and run. Sound good? Yeah. Sweet. Now, the uphills are the tough part. Downhills are the fun part. The guides and the guests love the hills, and the dogs especially love the hills, not for the reasons that you might think. They love the downhills because they know that if they're going to lose any of you on this tour, now is when it's going to happen, okay? When you get to your very first downhill, okay, you're going to have nice soft knees if you're a skier, snowboarder, mountain biker, whatever, okay? You're going to have nice soft knees, exactly like those shorts, okay? You're going to want to absorb the bumps. You're also going to have one foot on that brake the whole way down to slow your team down. You're going to yell the command, easy, okay? What we're trying to do is we want to make sure that this gangline right here stays nice and straight and off the snow the whole way down that hill. If you see that gangline start to drag on the snow or start to look like a limp piece of spaghetti, you know you're going way too fast for the dogs. You need to slow your team down, okay? Awesome. If your guide sees you guys bombing down these hills and not using the brake, we'll probably give you a friendly reminder once or twice, but be warned, we won't hesitate to switch you guys with somebody inside the sled who will use the brake, okay? Because these downhills can get pretty dicey at times and dog safety is our #1 concern. Sound good? Yep. Sweet. For turning, guys, again, if you ride a bicycle, ski, motorbike, what have you, okay? For a right-hand turn, you lean into your corners, okay? Some of you guys are leaning, okay, we'll take a peek back at you, make sure you're leaning okay. And you guys are leaning all right. Well, it's looking like something like this. We're pretty confused, I don't know. Everybody seems to do it, okay? There's not a whole lot of weight in your head, so when you're leaning into the corners, you gotta lean with your whole body. What you're trying to do, sorry bud, is try and put a little bit of friction on these runners here, okay? So, we're leaning with our whole body weight, we're even going to pull these handlebars with us a little bit. For a right-hand turn, if it's really, really fast, I can use my left foot on the brake to slow our sled down just a little bit. For a left-hand turn, okay, I can apply my right foot to the brake, okay, and slow our sled down just a little bit. Any questions? Awesome. Now, after hearing all of that information, who's definitely not going to be driving today? Awesome. We're all driving today? Excellent.